Almost every first-time homebuyer learns the hard way. But what's worse, most of it could have all been avoided with one question. I'm talking about neighborhood restrictions, skyrocketing taxes, financial nightmares, all blowing up on you after you're already on a contract on the home. And it all starts when no one decides to ask you one question. What are you planning to do with this home? Surprisingly enough, that one question can save you thousands and save your sanity. Because here's the truth. The most dangerous part about buying a home is not when you're trying to find it. It's in fact when you have an offer that has been accepted and you're already on the contract in your due diligence or your inspection period. That's typically when buyers realize, what the heck did I just sign up for? And at that point in time, it might just be too late. For instance, I have a buddy of mine who purchased a home years ago. I mean, we're talking ideal home, ideal location within their price point, and with a real estate agent assisting them throughout the entire way. Unfortunately, years later, their backyard ended up becoming a highway. Now, I'm sure if he had that information, he would have now moved forward with it. But I'm curious, if you knew that the home that you were buying, there was a highway plan to be in the backyard, would you move forward with it? Let me know in the comments, what would you have done? Because you may actually come across a neighborhood that you really love until you find more about the HOA funds, monthly dues, pet restrictions, or even property restrictions. It's no secret that you're purchasing a property to use it in the way that you intend to use it. But if you decide, hey, now you want to run a business out of your home and you just bought into a community that has commercial restrictions, you're just screwed. That business plan is not going to work. Or maybe you decide, you know what, heck, I can't do the business plan, so let's go ahead and make some improvements and add a pool to the backyard. Then while trying to pull permits or even seek for permission from the community, you find out that that's not even possible either. So do yourself a favor, and before you go under contract, have some sort of understanding on what that community even allows, so that you don't trap yourself in a situation where you can't do any of the things that you desire to do with your own home. Now, let me be clear. It's not always about the community that you're buying into. It sometimes can be your own doing that messes up the entire thing, which is why I'm warning you.
What are you talking about, Willis?
Do not change your financial profile, especially if you're getting a loan. Don't make any changes. And when I say that, I'm saying don't open up any other bank accounts. Don't open up any credit lines. Don't run your credit. Don't make any big purchases. Don't even change your job. Because if you do any of the things I just mentioned, you just open up the opportunity for more paperwork and the potential of not even closing on that home that you just put an offer on. And if no one's warning you to not do any of those things, then the people that you're partnering with to help you acquire your real estate goals, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but just know I'm connected to thousands of real estate agents that I can connect you to that will help you have a successful closing. So if you want to be connected to any one of those individuals, just make sure you click the link in the description below where you see agent referral and fill out that form entirely. That way I can get in touch with you and we can find out who is the best person to connect you to in your local area. Another thing you want to be warned or at least informed about is due diligence fee and earnest money deposit. Every state does this differently and has their own thing in place. So make sure whatever state that you're doing any sort of real estate business in, you understand. As far as North Carolina and South Carolina, I know that they do have the due diligence fee. So understand that. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Texas has what they call the option fee, right? So understand that and the risks that are involved in it. Because at least in North Carolina, that due diligence fee is non-refundable. So if you risk putting up a large due diligence fee, you really better hope that's the perfect home. Because if you find something later on the road and you find out that this is no longer the perfect home, unfortunately, you just really put yourself in a bad place. But I get it. No one wants to really be in a bad place. So now you're probably thinking, well, how can you protect yourself? How can you add some sort of safety net or even security so that you don't screw yourself over in the long run? And this is what I'm going to say. Be informed and at least know what contingencies are. Some of the contingencies that you'll find is appraisals, you'll find even financing, and you'll also find some sort of home sales if you have a current home that you're selling and need those proceeds to purchase the next one. That is when that one in particular, you really want to put into place so you are protected and you're not just stuck. However, what I'm about to talk about now, I don't care who warns you about it, informs you, or tells you, but you must know, especially before going on a contract on a new construction home, which is the property taxes. A lot of times you'll see that the property taxes is just based on the land. It is not based on the land and the home. So you will experience some sort of change with your escrow account or however you deal with your own taxes when it comes to the property in itself. But I will say something that can help you, it depends on if again that community was reassessed already, is looking at other homes that have closed already in that neighborhood to see what their property taxes are, will kind of give you an idea. Again, it's not guaranteed that you're going to even find this information if those property taxes have not been reassessed. But if they haven't been reassessed, this is a perfect time for you to go take a look to see how often that city or county does their reassessment. What are their tax rates? And last but not least, do they have any tax exemptions? If you do those things, you will be prepared for that moment when things do change and you won't be shocked like everybody else in the community. As a bonus, I want to be able to warn you that real estate does not happen as planned. In fact, you'll find that delays happen more often than you can even anticipate. So if you are trying to schedule, a back-to-back closing, or even trying to time your lease ending perfectly with you moving into your home, I will caution you and say add a little bit of cushion in between, because if there is a delay, at least you are covered there and you don't have anything to stress about. I actually had this happen to a client of mine, and thankfully they had a place where they didn't need to rush out of, so they were good. But literally, their closing was pushed out 2 weeks out. No one anticipated this. No one was ready for this. But things like that do occur. And what are you gonna do, right? You're gonna fight about it, but at the end of the day, you have to accommodate, just because again, you're trying to move forward and move into that home. And at that point in time, man, you're so far deep into it, you're not going anywhere, right? You're gonna get that home eventually. It's just a matter of when. Don't forget, I am here to connect you to the best real estate agent in your local area. So if you do need any sort of real estate assistance, be sure to click the link in the description below where you see agent referral. Fill out the entire form. That way I can get in touch with you and have a better sense of what's going on. So we do pair you with the best real estate agent. However, not doing or knowing any of the things I just mentioned in the video, this is where deals fall apart. New homeowners begin regretting their decisions, or even buyers start to lose thousands of dollars. You have to know this stuff prior to you falling in love with that home. Keyword, prior. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Ronnie Polynice, and remember, I got your back.